All right, wow. All pretty close. I'm live on YouTube, I'm live on Instagram, I'm live on Facebook. I'm going to start my Zoom meeting just 5 minutes early, just to allow people to get on. Okay. Cool. Wow, so this is pretty cool. So I got 4 different streams going on. Let's see. This full screen here. Okay. Virtual background. Okay. So, let's go. Okay. Okay. Boom. I'm just basically just starting to share this.
Good job. All done. Get your remote. Get your remote. Good job.
Okay. Let's see. Do I want to go in outer space? Or do I want to go in on the beach? Maybe I'll be on the beach. All right, people will start logging in soon.
Elijah, what are you doing?
All right. Damn. Okay. So we're about 2 minutes from the beginning of this Zoom conference. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Let's see, somebody has just jumped on. Gordon, what's going on? All right, cool. Gordon's on. How are you, buddy? That's audio, video set, virtual background. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, so
Give me this.
Tracy Cass is here.
No, Elijah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to mute myself.
No.
Let me see. Tracy, can you hear me? Oh, okay, wait, who's here? That's so wild. So you can't hear me, right? Hold on, I muted myself because there was a baby crying. Can you hear me now? Oh, why is this so low? I don't know. My computer is weird right now. Trying to listen through my AirPods, but it's not really working. But you can hear me. Okay, fabulous. And so we're gonna just wait for a couple of other people to come on. Oh, that's what it was. I have Siri going off right now. So how's everything going? You know, just I guess these aren't going to work. I'm just good, man. I'm just trying to figure out all this stuff and trying to make moves and, do what I have to do in order to make sure that feed the family. Seems like all the Fortune 500 companies are taking all the small business money. So we got to fend for ourselves, I guess, It's really insane that they would do that, but yeah, I did. I applied for the SBA, the PPP. I actually just got approved from the Screen Actors Guild for it was like $1,000, but everything helps. Everything helps. So I'm gonna wait for that. Hopefully that'll come like early, like next week. There's the like they have the EDIL loan and all that stuff, and all the other things that are possible to get. So I'm gonna explore every angle that we can, and I to be quite frank, I just re-registered with Uber just to get out there and just to start making stuff happen. You know what I mean? Because we got to figure out something, because this is a really crazy time. So it's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock, and I'm streaming on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom. So I have all these different streams going on right now, which is kind of cool to kind of see like how all these different platforms kind of react together and work. And I wish that for some reason, I don't know why, but my laptop speaker is really, really low. And I'm trying to figure out why that is. That's why I put on that. What's up, Betty? How are you? Thanks for joining, man. It seems like ages.
It has been ages. Maybe zero.
Yeah, maybe the early zeros, man. But yeah, you've progressed, man. Now you're what, fourth Dan?
Fourth, yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
But just still a baby on this journey of life.
Yeah, my gosh. So who's on right now on this call is Tracy Casts. Tracy, this is Betty.
Hi, Tracy.
Like literally, Betty and I, we've known each other since literally I moved to New York. I mean, it was like probably 4 months into my arrival that I walked into the martial arts school that she's also a part of. And now she's 4th degree black belt. And I'm telling you, if you've never learned about Hapkido, in my eyes, it's the most efficient, most effective martial art out there. It's the royal court martial art of Korea. It's like, and I actually back in 2000 and I want to say 2003, I actually had to defend myself against 2 attackers in Ridgewood, Queens, because they were coming after me. They were drunk. It was like late at night. I was coming home from the train, and they would come up and down my street drunk all the time, and then they would like throw people's trash into the street. So one night I heard it was going on, and I was like, "Hey, get out of here!" And then they remembered me because I was the only Asian guy in the neighborhood. So then I'm walking down the street going home one night, and then they try to attack me, and it was like, you would have been proud. Yeah, it was a crazy story. It was literally that next day, because after the whole ordeal, the one guy dragged his friend like down the block because he was pretty much like comatose, and he's like, "We're gonna come back and we're gonna kill you." So I was like, "Okay." Next day, I called U-Haul, picked up a U-Haul, and got out of New York. That was literally my last day living in Brooklyn, and I moved to Jersey, and I've been here ever since. So it was a crazy story. But Hapkido, if you're ever gonna put any of your kids into anything, that's the one to do it. I mean, obviously, if you watch MMA and stuff like that, you look at Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and all that stuff, and it's all this stuff is relative, because Jiu-Jitsu. Oh yes.
Not just for kids.
Oh, absolutely.
And actually, it's interesting. I think any kind of martial arts is just awesome. Obviously there's some that are like efficient, just like street stuff, like what happened to you.
Right.
But I think that like right now, you should know some basic things.
No, absolutely.
Just like mindset, things that don't have to be that difficult. Because you and I, we practiced on a level where we went deep. We don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we might do a self-defense seminar that's open to everyone. So
Yeah.
obviously I'll let that happen. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Just provide people with something. It's like just like a gear copy. I mean, you might even be like expert in self-defense. I don't know. But you do know that. Female diseases can go into disease. I think it's about women finally unpacking that strength. Push down for too long.
So we also have on the line Gordon. It's a really small little picture. Gordon, are you on? Are you sharing video with us? Let's see if.
I'll be there in a minute. Just a couple of start.
Okay, gotcha. No worries, man. No worries at all. So yeah. So as we kind of traverse, I mean, there's right now we have 4 people on this line. So hoping to have more. And I've been kind of like promoting this this series of just trying to get kind of back on track and kind of figuring things out. I mean, I know Tracy, you and I know each other from our kids being in a commercial together. I mean, not in a commercial, but a TV show together. And then Tracy introduced me to the CBD oil business. Betty and I, we've been together for a long, long time, whether it be virtually or whether it be in the physical space. But Betty has a very interesting background, being in the fashion industry for over 30 years, and obviously a proficient martial artist as well. But she's creative and she does a lot of different things and so on and so forth. So, basically just trying to create an environment for conversation about what we're going to do, coming from different backgrounds, having different situations right now, having different skill sets, and like how are we going to move forward and like make some money at the end of the day? You know what I mean? How are we going to make money and how are we going to survive? And what is going to be the new how would you say trade of the future? Because it was an interesting thing that I just saw. Like my friend Kim Dowdy from Harlem, she's posted this thing up, and it was like, these guys know exactly what they're doing. It wasn't her speaking, it was like somebody else that had typed something out where it was like, if they reopen these businesses, then the landlords can get paid. And they have every right to get paid, and if they don't get paid, then they have the right to evict. And then all those things in place. If they say it's quote unquote reopen, then there is no excuse for you not paying. Your business is open. You should be paying me. So it's literally like the top tier wealth people putting pressure down on the people who are small business America, Main Street America, saying, hey, well, you're open. You should be able to pay me. And that's really your problem. And it goes deeper into it. But I was like, wow, like that is really calculated in regards to that. You know what I mean? And like just all these things that, we're probably not even thinking of that are being put in place for like what the motivation for reopening everything. Like you want to reopen everything. Why do you want to reopen everything if you know that nobody's going to go? Because the rest of the world is still like, and then they're starting out with barbershops and nail salons and stuff like that. Like who's going to go to those places? There's no way you can social distance. You're just basically creating a petri dish of, virus, if you will, So anyway, okay, wait, hold on. Let me just see in the waiting room here. Hold on. We got Laura, we got Betty back in here. Okay, hold on. Okay. So Laura's back, Betty's back. So Laura is a local, she's a Montclarian. She's also a musician. And, you know, she's also in the same boat with other musicians as well, just trying to figure out like what is next, you know. So Betty, I know you may have some thoughts, some ideas about what you're doing right now in order to kind of like create something new. What are you doing right now for Dojang and for, you know?
I want to know that's the audience. So you said Laura's a musician, right? I lost the connection a little bit. And then Tracy, what's your field and what is your
Currently, aside from MLM, Tracy, what else do you do?
I know, right?
Medical field, but it's you know, hair removal, so it falls into that category where I haven't had a client in a month or so. So, you know, started focusing on my, you know, my internet business. So luckily I have that. Well, that's how I, you know, got reconnected with Nick. It's, you know, online marketing, and it's the company has like 4 different brands. One is CBD oil. That's what I can offer, you know.
I mean, in my opinion, I think it's the perfect timing though, because it speaks to, in a way, people are really looking for self-care, you know, and it's been slowly growing. Even my sister is a professor, like CBD oil, you know, and I know that there's a lot more they're all in their head, you know, and they're like, we provide wellness.
So for those of you who are just chiming in, for some reason my laptop, the speakers on my laptop are like completely dysfunctional right now. Like I barely can hear what's going on with the conversation that's going on Zoom. But basically we're just kind of talking about Tracy Cass is one of my friends, and she's on, and Betty Zay is also on, and they're talking a little about back and forth about the healing industry, about what opportunities are there in the healing industry and like, you know, the health industry and so on and so forth. Sorry about that. I was just kind of filling other people in that are on different platforms because they can't hear. I don't know why my laptop speakers are like dysfunctional right now. Like, I mean, I could hear you like, but it's very low, and I have the volume like pumped up, you know. And yeah, so it's weird. I'm trying to see if I can speaker same as a system.
I sponsored Nick, so anybody who know that is interested, but actually, one of your friends, friend Vinny.
Oh, Vinny Lolino. Oh, that's great. That's good. Oh, wow, that's great, man. That's good. You know what? I don't know. I haven't really checked my email today, so you know, we're in like that weird limbo where it's like, you know, it's like a weird thing, man. I've just been like, just trying to like figure out like what are we doing on a day-to-day basis, you know? And that's like my thing. It's like, you know, like I can create content, so I'm actually going to be creating a really interesting piece of content. It's going to be like probably like a 10 or 11-minute short film, but it's a little funny piece. So when I finish it, I'll share with you guys because I think it's gonna. I don't know. It's just my own twisted brain of like being like, why have we've been here before, you know? And so Yeah, it's my little twist. I know somewhere in my former life I was a writer for SNL. You know, and so like my brain is always like 3 steps away from like whatever's really happening, and I'm like, oh, and I relate something that maybe people haven't related the two together. So I don't know. I'm gonna do this this little media piece, and it's gonna be like bad martial arts voiceovers.
Google or Apple, she was giving shit on social media online. And like, even though 10 or 11 sounds like nothing, people just work with it. You know, nowadays the audience, like the audience has no tolerance for information past like even like a minute.
No, yeah.
So just so you're aware.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, listen. I mean,
It's like a feature length movie.
yeah. You know, I just. It's because the movie had such popularity. So I'm basically taking a movie from the past and I am applying it to what's going on now. And then like so as I was thinking about every aspect of the movie, I was like, every aspect of the movie is happening right now. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this voiceover. I'm gonna like make this happen. And whether or not people like it or whether or not people watch it or have time to watch it, that's fine. It's just something that I have to get out of me as a creative and as like somebody who's like, I have to create this little piece of content. And, you know, hopefully it's not going to take too long, and the quality level is going to be like whatever it is, you know. But you know, we live in the world of like, all right, well, you know, if a video goes viral or if a piece of content goes viral, you know, maybe it can make you $100, you know, or whatever. I mean, we just have to do whatever we can right now to kind of, you know, figure out how we can supplement our income outside of just waiting for the government to send us checks, you know. But and then it's hard, just like, you know, people, you know, everything's tight right now for everybody. So it's like, how do you ask for something that's not, how do you get water from a stone right now? Because everybody's a stone. Like all the small businesses, they're not even open. So I can't go to a restaurant and say, hey, what do you think about rebranding? You know, like, what do you think about redoing your website right now? What do you think about, you know, doing a new menu or a brochure? Like whatever those services are, like, you know, there's nothing that I could do to, you know, and it's just not the time to sell. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you guys have any other ideas of what things that other people are doing that you've heard of or anything like that to generate revenue. And you know, maybe, you know, as a part in lieu of this conversation of like starting something completely new. Like you do electrolysis at home. You do hemp works at home. You do, you know, but is there something else besides those two that you may be like, you know what? None of this is working. I got to do something else. You know, what would that look like in departing from what you're doing and then moving into another space? You know what I mean? Because I feel like we've all gone to school for our different, you know, skills that we've like, now we can do this as a profession and stuff like that. But this profession is no longer in demand right now, currently. So what passions do we have that we've had since we were kids, you know, that we love to do, that we know we can do very well? What can be brought out of us in order to, you know, create a new stream of revenue? Like, you know, do we start, I don't know, if you can sew, like, are you making new things, like in sewing things? And, you know, like my friend Crystal's doing masks. You know, like she's doing these protective masks, and you know, like she just made a bunch of bags and stuff like that. You know, but so she was just focused solely on apparel and clothes, you know. But then like this happened, so she was like, I gotta start making masks, and she sold out. You know, so she sold out of all of her masks, and she's, you know, she just posted that she sold out. I don't know how many bags that she made, but she sold out of her bags and stuff like that. So people are spending money if it's things that they feel are valuable in this current climate.
Elijah.
You know what I mean? And that's the hard part to kind of figure out is like, based off of what we're doing or what we have done, what's the most valuable thing that we can do in this specific climate. And like as an artist, you're like, well, I love to sing. Well, not singing, and unless you're singing, like I have a couple of musicians that they'll go on and they'll stream daily. They'll do a 1 hour set, and then people will pay them through Cash App or Venmo or something like that. What does a dancer do?
Our school virtually online. So obviously that assumes taking off. A lot of people getting used to just being online, giving classes virtually.
Right.
But I think maybe classes really well ready martial arts class. And it's a really quick learning curve. So basically you're like up here and then you had to learn.
Right. Right. Right.
My friend did belly dancing classes, so I always wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And she offered it. So I tried it out. I think that a lot of people really has to be good. You're frustrated. Belly dancing, she kept cutting out. So that's the
Right. So now we are in a space where where everybody's really kind of examining their Verizon package or their Optum Online package, and like, do I have enough bandwidth in order to like run this business, or do whatever it is that I have to do. I mean, like people who buy like the basic package, it may not be enough bandwidth in order to do what they need to do. Which again talks to the whole net neutrality debacle of this administration that's going on. That was set in place to protect us so that we can all enjoy, full-on internet access. Oh, oopsie. Hold on, this. So, yeah. Howard C. Oh, what's up? Howard is also another Hapkido student?
Yes.
Cool, man.
Right now you're on
Elijah. Close.
You're in the Navy.
Cool.
So you don't know much about
Elijah.
So for those of you who are watching on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or any of the other platforms, if you want to just text into the comment area, we were just talking about what passion do you have that you would do for free for the rest of your life. Skill set, passion, what is it that you would do for free for the rest of your life? If you just want to share that, that will help us with the conversation. I'm sorry about the fact that my audio
Yes.
is so low, you can't hear the other people talking. So but if you can text in through the comments, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's just a conversation with all of us. Yeah, that's the thing. We had a in-person basically here. I work at that. You work at duty right now. We're the last. We're the last. We're not before.
I can hear. Yeah, Laura, are you there? Hold on, let me or unless she muted herself. Oh, there you are, Laura.
Yellowtail, Chardonnay. That's my drizzly. That's it. My name is Garcia, Y-I-A. Last name is Dabney, D-A-B. Okay. Awesome, thank you.
No, that's from 2007, 2008 area. Yeah. Oh.
Elijah, stop. Elijah, stop.
No, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't even have to be business people. It's just people from all different walks of life because we're all in it together, you know. And
I said stop.
how to get through it, and then like also just what are some ideas that are out there right now that will allow us to allow us to kind of move things forward. So, you know, talk about economics. So this is the Zoom freezing. So I have 40 minutes, and I think it should be coming to a point where I just got a notification that we're going to run out of time soon. But if you want to just jump onto Facebook, go onto my Facebook page because I'm live on Facebook and I'm live on Instagram as well. So if you want to just jump on there, like if they just basically cut us off. But yeah, so like I actually have this. Let me see if I can share it with you real quick. Hold on. I actually had. Oh wait, speak of you. No. Let me see if I could share my screen real quick with you.
Elijah, here.
No, absolutely. I mean, I don't even think you need to do a business, like a whole website. I think you could just basically, hold on, I'll be able to
Let's
record
see.
content. Okay, I'll do that later. Yeah, Facebook. Facebook, the social media channels. I know that there's one gentleman who he was going to come on today, but he has a Facebook page as well that kind of is basically in line with that, kind of connecting people and, letting people know that they're in business. But like, but I think true. So, so creating like an aggregation website for networking. I mean, I don't know. I just started to interact with this other platform called Alignable. I don't know if you are familiar with it. It's a new platform. It's kind of the same thing where it's like they go through your contacts and they send invites to everybody, and then people jump on. And I've actually had some conversations with some business owners and stuff like that I haven't talked to in a long time that are in my contact list. And so I was able to kind of connect with them on that platform aside from like Facebook and stuff like that. So, it's like you never know like who's on what platform or who's open or an early adapter to a new platform. Obviously, like TikTok is growing tremendously, and as their platform continues to grow and their capabilities continue to grow, it's younger, but mostly like more older people are getting on it. Can you just text me that in the comments here if you can? So that's a resource, and that's great to know. Go ahead. You were saying. You think what? No, every resource that we can get. Like I didn't realize, that I just was going through like all the unions that I've been a part of, and I'm like, oh, and like I was just sharing with Tracy that because I'm a member of the Screen Actors Guild. Screen Actors Guild had something going on through the Actors Fund and the Screen Actors Foundation and something like that. Anyway, I applied for it and I got approved for an additional $1,000, and I was like, hallelujah, like that's awesome. So I'm like, snap my fingers waiting for that to come, because like the other stuff is we saw the results of the $349 billion, and now all this other money is going to be coming out, but like I mean the small business community is just so vast, from individual sole proprietors to corporations that have thousands of employees, but like the small business under 500 employees, that's like hundreds of millions of businesses in the United States. So it's like you take whatever $480 billion, and divide it up by all these businesses, and when you're giving businesses $10-20 million, it's like I went shopping today to go buy spices, and I was like, oh my god, spices are damn expensive, and like I get like 10 things. I'm like, walked out with like a $67 bill of like spices. I was like, holy crap. I was like, that's expensive, and it's just the stuff, it just goes so fast. So, I don't know. Like you look at the testing statistics, and for every million people, there's like 14,000 tests being administered, it's like minuscule. So I don't know. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. 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 Uh-huh. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're just watching right now, we're just having a conversation about audience and demographics, like trying to figure out what audience that you appeal to and what they would respond to. So I apologize. I don't have, hold on for 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Trying to just hook up this speaker.
A lot for businesses.
Okay. Come on, speaker.
Your account gonna run out at the end of the 40-minute mark?
It might be close to it. I don't see.
I have to jump on another call at 6:45, so if you get cut off, I probably won't jump.
Okay. All right.
Live though on Facebook.
Can you say?
I don't see you live on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, I'm there. I don't know it's doing.
Really? Okay. Because I get this message. Can you see that?
The 10-minute message?
Yeah.
Let me try restarting. Hold on. I'm gonna try to restart the Facebook Live thing
Where
here.
are you?
I'm Long Island,
Oh, where?
out east in East Mauritius. You know
Oh,
where
I-
that is?
I don't
It's
like
right before the Hamptons.
Okay.
Mauritius, like Mauritius Islands.
No, Mauritius. No, we have friends in Mauritius. Mauritius. See?
I see. No, there's so many small towns. I used to live there.
Oh, okay. Very good.
I'm in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Brooklyn, yeah. Warren Hill area. Where are you?
No, I'm Brooklyn.
Oh, you are.
Oh, Nara, are you in the city too?
Yeah, no, I'm in Bloomfield, New Jersey. I'm in Denver.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you're right by. Actually, it was funny because, you know, I went to go have all you can eat sushi, and I ended up sitting right next to Laura.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did you know her or did you not?
Well, we knew each other from Montclair, but like we knew each other from Facebook, and we really hadn't interacted much face to face.
Yeah.
You know, so then I was like, wait a second. It's pretty funny.
Facebook friend in person. How great is that? Well, I'm shoving my face with sushi.
Listen, I was shoving my face 10 times more, so I'm dying for some sushi now. Now that
I know.
I really need some. This is not working at all.
This is May 16th. No, May 4th. Kim Sushi opens up.
Yay!
Let me-
Hey, what's up, Tamala? I'm gonna be coming.
Treat.
I'm gonna be addressing the other feeds soon because Zoom is gonna end out.
At least avocado rolls. That would be good.
No, absolutely. The avocado rolls. Anything with avocado and sushi is like the bomb.
It is amazing.
So I actually had like a whole presentation and stuff like that planned for today, but I figured since it was like just us, I figured we just have just kind of like a off the cuff type of conversation, which was great. You know, we kind of get to know each other a little bit. But I could send you over kind of like the presentation. So like if you join next week, then you can kind of come like already like knowing like what we want to talk about,
Awesome. That would be great.
you know? So if you guys could just,
Are you doing 2 days, Wednesday and Friday? 'Cause I feel
Yeah.
like it's all-
I'm gonna do Wednesdays and Fridays just because there's so much, you know, like part of the whole process that I'm trying to create myself is back in 2006 I created a program for the youth, you know, and it was really about innovation. It was about innovating based off of their passion and then like going through the steps to actually create what they were thinking of. So in the first sessions, as we kind of traverse down this road of like innovation and like starting something new, you know, as we're having like intimate conversations, like what are we truly passionate about? What do we really want to do? You know, we know we do what we do to make a living, but like, is there something else that we do in our free time that we'd rather be doing? And how could we turn that into something that's real? Like, you know, Laura, you were talking about like, can we create a website for something like this? Like, yeah, you know, you can create a website, you can, you know, start your brand, you can, you know, build it, you can start an apparel company. Like there's so many things that you can do based on what your passion is. It's just learning about each other's passion. And then everybody could chime in and say, oh, here's another idea. What if you did this? You know, like let's say like I like to play basketball. Like, oh, well, you know, maybe you don't have the money to start a shoe company, but maybe you can, you know, just, you know, paint pictures because you're an artist, maybe paint pictures of basketball players and sell them on eBay, you know, or something like that, you know. So there's just, everybody can probably come to the table and say, okay, what's your passion, Laura? Like, oh, I like to do X, Y, and Z. I like to, you know, to do, let's say music. And maybe it's not going out and performing music, but maybe it's something else. Maybe it's, you know, I like to collect, you know, album covers and stuff like that, or whatever it may be. And how can you turn like this collection of album covers that you have into something, you know, a profitable business or something like that? Something like I'm on the brink of like, you know, selling all my sports cards. So I'm like, this is the time to just put it all on eBay and just say, here, buy all these sports cards. Like, what the use is? I don't have any use for them. You know, like,
That's a great idea.
just get rid of them.
There are people who are obsessed with
Oh yeah,
who have disposable income. They're all usually sitting at home.
yeah. Just, you know, and I'm painting. You know, like I just launched this, you know, this line of paintings that I'm going to continue on doing. You know, and back in the day when I was first conceiving it, it was called black ink and a blow dryer. But I typically don't use a blow dryer. I just use my breath and a straw. and then I create these abstract, black and whites that can have some meaning and can have just complete abstract and like just kind of like like the Rorschach test or whatever it's called. Yeah, so it's something like that where everybody sees something different in it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll show you. Hold on. I'll show you real quick. Mhm.
Hi.
Bye. Nice to meet you. I'll see you next time.
Come on.
Thank you. Take care.
So I don't know if you can see that. Okay, Tracy, I'll see you later.
Hey, send me the presentation. I'd love to see it.
Okay, you got it. Thanks for jumping on.
Bye.
All right, so that's one, and then I did another one. This one is like more of a horizontal one, but is from like 9/11. Like when the World Trade Center was there. So I just wanted to do something abstract, but have some type of like meaning to it as well. And so, I mean, every day there's some new inspiration that's kind of happening, and just getting back to like fine arts, and just creating just for the sake of creating and not worrying about whether or not I have to go through rounds of changes and talk to the client and all that stuff. I'm just creating just because I feel like creating something, And so that's what I hope, like as we kind of go through this process. It's kind of like the artist way, you know what I mean? Just kind of like tapping into your passion and then like creating a system where like you're doing a little bit every day to try to create that system to get you to your goal. But like then that system kind of becomes your normal everyday habit of, productivity, So, I mean, obviously we're in quarantine. It's like, okay, well, I could sleep or I can stay awake. And, if you're a night owl, you're going to do it. You're going to create your artwork and you're going to create your writing and all the different things. It's like, if you think about all the people like J.K. Rowling's, like here's this housewife who just wrote Harry Potter, and we think about what we do on a daily basis to make money. And like the real money is in creation of media and residual income opportunities from that. Like, God, if we owned billboards, the monthly revenue that comes from just owning billboards, but if you write a song, and that song is a great song, it's a hit. You wrote it once, you sang it once, and, maybe you're performing out in the world, but that little piece of content goes a long way. So we're in that world right now where social media grabs onto different pieces of content and all of a sudden, boom, everybody's exposed to it and boom, all of a sudden it goes viral, and then you start to get residual income from these social media conglomerates. So, it's that process. Like, everybody wants to create something, but before, what did you have time to do? If you were busy all the time, you're coming home from work every day at 7, 8 o'clock p.m., you feed the kids, you eat dinner, you do it again the next day, But now we're quarantined. We have more time to kind of figure out, like, what do I love to do? Like, what can I do? Can I paint pictures of beer bottles? I don't know, like still life. So whatever, I mean, everybody has an affinity out there, and now it's just optimum time to be creative. So that's kind of the meat and potatoes of it. And then, as we continue on, like what my goal is to tap into my skill sets and my years of what I've been doing to kind of help people along their journey through this as well. So it's like, hey, I got a great idea for X, Y, and Z. Then I'm like, cool, let's work on it while we have the time, and if you're ready to spend some time in it, then great, we can spend some time in it, So there's just a lot of really cool things that could potentially come out of this, rather than, just us just sitting around and just kind of waiting for, these people who don't really care about us to do something, because they're not going to. I mean, I'm interested to see what happens in this next round of funding and who gets it. You know, that's gonna be, you know, and I'm also interested to see like which one of these states really gives people the go ahead to open up these businesses, because you know, you got a lot of people who are, you know, talking about the racial aspect of the choices that they're making. Again, and who's going to be the guinea pigs that they're going to see, like back in the days of the Tuskegee, you know, experiment. You know, like they were basically lab rats, you know, and they just wanted to see how this disease would progress. And did that back in the day, and now we're going to do it again. You know,
Like they're cool now.
Huh?
So
I have that feeling.
they're not like hot. You want to warm them up.
Oh, yeah.
I figured I'll just continue to stay in as much as possible. And as it turns out, I work for
This one's like a deeper, richer, smooth barbecue sauce. Yeah, it's very barbecue.
Just stay home.
The other one is more like
It's gonna
Asian.
be a long time for us because
Right, cleanse your palate, you need some water.
it's not wise to be congregating together in spaces.
This
where
one is
people
more
are
like,
gathering.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
what
Like in a corporate.
I started out with
office.
an idea, then it went somewhere else, and went somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that that's what's going to be the new norm. You know,
It's cool.
and then all these companies, like if you're in commercial real estate, all these companies are going to realize, like, hey, I don't have to rent the entire floor. I could have like 3 people here, and the rest of the staff can work from home. Like we got Zoom, we got all this technology. We just do our morning Zoom calls, and everybody just does their thing.
Put it on the side.
Hey guys, I'm on a thing right now.
After payroll, at the company I work for, and we're how expensive, you know, to go come out.
So I soaked them
Oh,
in
we
salt,
may not need all.
then I did a dry rub.
So
Right.
the rest of it is just about the space. Why not? It's actually, you know, for commercial.
Right.
And so it's gotten to a level where it's like, you know, it's mostly corporate. And there's small like landlords like that.
This one.
So I feel
Right,
like
and cook out, right.
you know, but
Like I said, it's more like
landlords, you know, who own like one building.
Right.
But like,
there's just some cookies.
but in general,
The cracker.
well, guess what? You're gonna, you wanted to charge that much? That's me sitting for how long?
Right.
So, and then this gas one, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it. I gotta look.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think this is a great corrective measure. It's a really great corrective measure. Yeah. Yeah. Because I know, you know, like God will always, you know, greed is one of the 7 deadly sins, you know? And so it's happening right now where it's like, God's like, yo, all you greedy people, you know, and when you see the video that I'm going to create, you're going to be like, oh, I see. You know what I mean? I don't want to spoil it before it comes out, but you know, it's yeah. So yeah, so if you want to jump on Wednesday, you know, we could probably jump a little bit more into like more of the system and the curriculum and stuff like that. You're free.
I think, 6 o'clock, maybe.
Yeah, if you can on Wednesday, and you know, you can kind of jump in and help, you know, moderate and all that good stuff.
Gordon, hopefully we'll see you next time. Alex, nice to hear your voice.
Yeah.
For a lot of what we're experiencing now, I not being able to go. I'm very used to it. It's nice to see what some of these people experience.
It's a family that wants to.
I'm on a trip once a year. I might see Thailand maybe for about 3 days every 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm usually order a lot of clothes. Also, see what's the weather out in the real world. To just see what the things that people are going through in the office and sort of
Stop. Stop. That's it.
Right. Yeah. Oh wow. Howard, where do you live now? Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, yeah. Uh-huh. That's right. Cool, man. Well, thanks for joining, Laura. Maybe we'll see you next week. To the school? Oh, cool. That's awesome. Cool. All right. Well, have a good reunion. Thanks for jumping on, and we'll see you. If not Wednesday, we'll see you Friday. Okay. All right. Bye, Betty. All right, Howard. So it's just us, you, and Gordon. Gordon, I haven't heard much from you. Where are you? Where are you in Montclair? You're on which avenue? Sorry. Oh, you're on Gates. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, all right. I used to live on Forest. Got it. I'm so surprised that this Zoom is allowing this meeting to go on this long. I thought it was like a 40-minute like limit to it, but I guess it's like if you have. Oh, excellent. Well, I don't want to keep you guys too. I actually have to feed the family right now, but yeah. Yeah, Wednesday at 6. Jump on, and if you need to talk in between, just give me a call. You know my number, right? Yeah, and
But technically, that finger technique is 2 cups of water.
I hear that, man. Video games and Netflixing and all that stuff. It's all the same. Well, let's get on next week. Hey, Christian. No worries.
Come on.
No worries. We're actually just expanding because I'm going to feed the family right now. Wednesday. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. I'll call you later. We'll chat. All right, gentlemen. I'm going to jump. I got to run and feed the family. So I will check you guys a little bit later. All right. Hey, Howard, can you send me your email? Got it. All right, Howard. Thanks for jumping on, man. I'll check you guys later, and we'll be back on at 6 o'clock next week and talking a little bit more about the system that I was kind of put together for today's meeting. But since it was such an intimate thing, I just didn't feel like we needed to go into it. So we'll go into it next week. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. All right, guys, 6 p.m. So next week, 6 p.m. Sorry about the audio. I got to figure out the audio situation with the Zoom thing because that was kind of crappy. Sorry about the audio. Like the Zoom thing didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. So next week, what we're going to do is I have a presentation that I have put together, and it's basically kind of step-by-step process of kind of like if any of you have read the book like The Artist's Way or whatever, it's just kind of helping administer a system of thought to get you to a place where your true talents and gifts can be revealed, and then you can kind of start to mold them into a potential new thing. You know, if your thing is going away, you know, if your employment is going away, or if your job is going away, like what are you going to do? Like, we can't just sit around. We actually have to be proactive and do something. So it's kind of giving us that bit of inspiration, or at least a system, so that we can start thinking about what's next and how we can actually implement it, and then look at each other and say who can be a resource to supply the things that we need in order to kind of move things forward. All right, so I'm going to jump, and thanks for joining, and whether you came now or later, thank you for coming by. Next week, Wednesday at 6 o'clock, I'm going to do it again, but hopefully I can do it a little bit better. I'm not going to have the Zoom on this computer because the speakers are horrendous for some reason. I'm going to put it on my other computer so that everybody can hear everybody's conversation. And if you didn't get the Zoom link and you wanted to join the Zoom, just send me a direct message through Facebook. Or email me, and I can get you that Zoom link. It's going to be my personal link, like every time. It's going to be the same link, so you can just literally keep that link and then just come on Wednesdays and Fridays of next week. All right. So this is Bosco signing out. I will see you next week. Oy, 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 oy. If I would have known you were in this deep, I would have brought some more ribs out.
Now, you just, Elijah. I don't know what you're going to do.
I didn't know you were going to be putting foots in things.
I don't know what the footsie thing means.
You never heard somebody say, "Ooh, you put your foot in that."